Hey, gun people! Sometimes I get smacked for talking about quota hires. When government doesn't hire on standards, they hire because of PC, because of what bathroom you use, because of what religion you claim, whatever. Government always hires on other things other than standards, and that means they lower the standards, which means when people fail to comply with their training, they can't fire them because they set the bar so low that it's hard to fire somebody when you allow people to get away with so much. You can't fire another person when you've allowed somebody. This female officer has 5 accidents in 3 years on the force. They still haven't fired her. They won't tell whether or not they disciplined her. She totaled a police car, got in a wreck it's just crazy. And they can't fire her. The problem with this is now they can't fire any other officer who has 5 accidents because he will point, she had 5 accidents and you didn't do anything to her. That's what happens when you hire people that aren't qualified. You keep people that aren't qualified. You cover up their mistakes and their errors because you don't want to be called mean names, and therefore you keep lowering the standards, and then it lowers the standard for everybody, and then you can't discipline anybody. Therefore, you can't have any standards, and you wonder why government runs around being the most incompetent buffoons in the freaking world. Here's why.
A Rancho police officer with a history of getting into crashes in her patrol car was involved in yet another crash. This time it happened right in the parking lot of the police department. News 13's Jeannie Nguyen shows you the security video of what happened.
It was the night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, look at her pretty ponytail. Rick, why are you picking on her? She got a ponytail. I know.
Rio Rancho police officer Brittany Mainsmith was walking to her patrol car in the department's parking lot.
Gee, I wonder if she finished like number 1 in the academy, if that's, her hat's bigger than her whole body. Never mind. It was when she got hired anyway. So here we have a parking lot with open spaces everywhere. This woman's already had 4 accidents. This is going to be her 5th. She puts her car in reverse and backs right into another car. This is where you don't learn. Your failure to retain, your failure to pay attention, even after you've had multiple chances and multiple warnings, and you do that. Well, Rick, it's not her fault because it's the mean man's fault. Okay.
Mainsmith putting her car into reverse, even though there is clearly another unit parked right behind hers. She hits the patrol car. It's another crash, which is nothing new for her in her 3.5 years on the force.
Now, I know somebody's going to be here. Rick, it really wasn't a crash. I mean, she just hit another police car. She didn't use proper caution. Even though she had 4 accidents, she still doesn't care because she knows nothing's going to happen to her. That's exactly what I'm saying on all these cops' behavior that are out of control. They have become this mindset that who cares? It's not my money. It's taxpayers' money. I'm never held accountable. I don't need to follow training. I don't need to remember. I don't care when they warn me. I can do what I want because I'm untouchable.
A spokesperson with the Rio Rancho Police Department refused multiple requests to do an on-camera interview with us.
Gee, I wonder why. How are you going to justify you let a cop ride around and have 5 traffic accidents in 3 years?
But according to these documents, this would be her 5th crash.
Morning. What happened?
So this poor guy's driving down the road. He gets rear-ended. How much money that costs the city? See, they're not saying how much this costs. This guy may have neck injuries. You got damage. She totaled her patrol car. And if she totaled her patrol car hitting him in the rear, it's not even at an intersection. It's on a straight part of the road. Wow.
That was Officer Mainsmith back in April after she rear-ended a driver on 528, totaling her unit. In 2016, she also rear-ended someone. The report says she was distracted by the computer in her...
Distracted by her computer. You're distracted by doing your job? You know, are you going to be distracted by using a radio? Are you going to be distracted by having to use your turn signal? Rick, why are you picking on? All right, whatever.
Patrol car. That same year, she backed into her unit with her personal car in her driveway. Then back in February, she collided with a red light runner. She was not at fault for that incident. A spokesperson with the Rio Rancho Police Department says Mainsmith's last 3 crashes have led to...
Oh, Rick, she's so cute. Why are you picking on her? All right, whatever.
$18,000 in damage. After the April mishap, her fellow officers were well aware of her driving problems.
Well, it's definitely citable. Careless driving.
You know, if the cops are saying, hey, she's careless driving, they're fed up with it. They probably see this is a symptom of much bigger issues. If you've got somebody that can't figure out how to drive a car and they're a cop, do you think you want this person pulling their gun and helping you or backing you up? Of course not. But you can't say anything because you'll be called a mean word like sexist or racist or bigoted, or you just don't like, or you got privilege, or you, oh my God. I mean, it's just crazy what we're allowing the country to become.
But Rio Rancho police say there is no policy on how many crashes an officer can have before they lose their patrol car.
See, that's a big BS. There's no policy on how many crashes. I guarantee you, if this was a guy, he'd have been fired. He's done. He'd have been on remedial training after the first one. You get wrote up on the second one. You get wrote up on the third one for failure, and on the fourth one, you're gone.
They do say Officer Mainsmith has been disciplined in the past because of her driving history.
Oh, so they have disciplined her. So what does that do? It doesn't do anything because she knows nothing else going to happen. Big deal. Why do I need to pay attention? I've been getting away. I got hired because of other reasons than I was qualified. I haven't performed since I've been on here. I've been crashing cars like I'm at a fucking bumper car race, and I haven't been fired. So why should I have to worry about policies and procedures? As soon as they fire me, I'm going to say they fired me because I'm a woman and I'll win retirement for the rest of my life. Perfect.
But won't tell us how. Jeannie Nguyen, KRQE, News 13.
She was required to take some driving courses.
Oh, she was required more training. All the people yelling more training will say, oh, see, Rick, they just need more training. So she took driver's training and she's still crashing cars. It's not training. It's holding people accountable that they follow their training and learn from their training.
Police say they are still investigating this most recent crash, but say Officer Mainsmith is at fault and haven't decided if she'll be punished for it.
All right. Well, you know what? Look, Rick, what? You know, she's doing really good at work, and she graduated the academy, and why are you picking on her just because she has a ponytail? Okay, whatever. You can make it out whatever you want. This is the decay of police. People out here, man, how could we get such fools in police? How do we get... When you continuously lower the standard because of somebody's sex or color or some other reason, this is why you have nothing but incompetence in government. All right, we'll end that there.